started, let's review the rules of my classroom. First off, take a moment to find the emergency exits located where you came in. In the event of an emergency, please calmly exit through these doors. You have any food or drinks? You and I both know this isn't lunch period, so don't try eating or drinking in here. And flash photography is absolutely prohibited in my class, because I've got sensitive eyes and I don't have time to deal with those blurry spots while I'm trying to teach a lesson. You know what? Just don't record me in any way whatsoever. And listen, even if your device doesn't make any noise, if any one of you even thinks about texting during my class, I will send your butt to the principal's office so fast it will make your freaking head spin. You got all that? Because we've got a lot of material to cover today. So please get out your notebooks. Today's lesson is the Education Project.
Discovery of knowledge and then the ability to retain and question that knowledge.
Precisely that. Does anybody have any new thoughts? Anybody want to add on? Kenzie.
So I was thinking about it over the weekend, and like Bruce said, it's the ability to discover new knowledge and then question that knowledge. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that's not what we're doing in school. Like, in school they give us facts and whatever to memorize, and we learn it for our tests, and then we expel it from our brains, and we're like, great, never have to think about it again. But education is when you find something that you care about, and you take the time to learn more about it, and question it, and internalize it, and that's just not at all what we do in school.
Absolutely, Sabrina.
So I was in math class and geometry, and just adding to what you said, my personal experience, that I just learned how to do transformations or rotations or whatever, and we were doing a test, and I was like, oh God, how do I do this? And I completely forgot. And then the second that we did a quiz on it, I got 100, but then the next day I just completely forgot how to do it, at all. And I was just like, I don't know what to do.
Ruth, and then Lauren?
It's sort of like they just force feed you facts, but it's just facts. There's nothing really to them. It's they'll tell you all these dates and these names, and they're like, okay, remember that, but they don't tell you why to remember that. And if you try to find out why, it doesn't happen in class. You have to do it on your own time if you're going to do it.
Okay, Lauren, last one.
Can I tell you what I think nobody's saying, but they want to say it?
Yes,
There's
go ahead.
times in class where we're learning something and we aren't learning the truth. Like I've gone home and I realized that's not something my teacher has said, or if they bring up the lesson, I'm like, well, that's not what I've learned on my own. And I think that's why everyone's having trouble with the education system and why we think it's such a joke.
How many of you agree with this? Okay, that seems like everyone. These are all very valid points, and I think we should dig a little deeper into this. So your first assignment.
Assignment number 1. What is your personal definition of education? What is education to you?
For the next 4 years, 48 months, 208 weeks, 1,460 days, 35,040 hours, 2,102,400 minutes, 126,144,000 seconds, 16 marking periods. You'll be here in these seats, listening to someone just like me. About 3.3 million students are expected to graduate from high school in 2013-14, including 3 million graduates from public high schools and 278,000 students from private high schools. Every year, over 1.2 million students drop out of high school in the United States alone. That's a student every 26 seconds, 7,000 a day. The U.S., which had one of the highest graduation rates of any developed country, now ranks 22nd out of 27 developed countries. The overall national dropout rate appears to be between 22 and 25%, but the rate is higher among Black and Hispanic students. 41% of Hispanics ages 20 and older in the United States do not have a regular high school diploma, versus 23% of comparably aged Blacks and 14% of whites. A high school dropout will earn $200,000 less than a high school graduate over his or her lifetime, and almost $1 million less than a college graduate. Almost 2,000 high schools across the U.S. graduate less than 60% of their students. In these next 4 years, 208 weeks, 1,460 days, 35,040 hours, 2,102,400 minutes, 126,144,000 seconds, 16 marking periods, you will be here in these seats, becoming small fractions of all of these percentiles. So, what is education to you?
I'm Yasmin Rosado, I'm 17, and what is education to me? So, check this. Whom the gods love, died young, was said of yore, and many deaths did they escape by this. The death of friends, and that which slays even more, the death of friendship, love, youth, all that is, except mere breath. And since the silent shore awaits, even those who longest miss the old archer shaft, perhaps the early grave which men weep over may be meant to save. Don Juan, Console 4. Okay, so this was the first thing that ever made me question education. I was walking to my bus, and I just broke down right there. I reevaluated life, youth, what it is to be human. And these words, they created thoughts and colors that I never knew existed. So that was the day that I asked myself, is this why people read poetry?
I am Alexis, and this is what education means to me. So I'm in the store and I turn my head, and I catch this knee-length blue skirt, 3/4 inch sleeve, black lace top, zipper to the lower back dress. And above it there's a sign that says 30% off, and the dress was $26.31. That's the day I learned to do math. I convert 30% into 3/10, move the decimal overplace to the left 1 to get 263, multiply 263 by 3 to get 789, and subtract 789 from 2631 to get 1842. I opened my eyes and I yelled out the number and I reached into my wallet and I grabbed a 10, a 5, 2 singles, 4 quarters, 4 nickels, 2 dimes, and 2 pennies. And I take that dress and I run.
Hi, my name is Dylan Pearl. I'm 15 years old, and this is 5-year-old Dylan, first year of kindergarten. My shoes are tight. My hair is still wet. I walk into class and I see these familiar characters on the wall. Action Adam and Baseball Billy. And it hits me. They're all there. The letters. And I can forever and ever
Cat, apple, dog, mom.
make words with.
Hi, my name is Mackenzie Bolbert. I'm 17. What is education to me? So, I walk in to the New York Public Library for the first time ever. My jaw drops. I mean, every angle I turn, I'm bombarded with books. On the first floor, a thick red one about diamonds. I climb the marble staircase. More books as far as the eye can see. Aisle after aisle, I grab books filled with knowledge, and suddenly, it hits me. I have an infinite amount of knowledge in my reach. And not enough life to ever have it all. My mom finds me hours later, still reading behind a wall of books. I mean, coming from a not-so-privileged past, this is my own little heaven.
My name is Allison Fernandez. I'm 17 years old. So, what is education to me? I'm studying for this math test that I have the next day, and I don't understand it, and neither do none of my classmates. So, I tried making flashcards. Nothing. I tried memorizing from a book. Nothing. And so, I just get frustrated, and I put on some music. And books come on. And I figured out, if I substitute the lyrics for the material that I'm learning, it helps me and it'll help my classmates to pass. And so I started to sing. Plugging 2 into the problem. Multiply by 2 and subtract 1. You should get a 3 and then take that absolute value. You'll see that 3 equals 3. Plug in 2 into the problem. Multiply by 2 and subtract 1. You should get a 3 and then take that absolute value. You'll see that 3 equals 3.
My name is Ruth Blair, and I'm 16, and this is what education means to me. I'm sitting on my small front porch in my small hometown, looking up at the stars. The stars that shine over me, my house, my friend's house, my school, my whole life. My life that has no purpose but to mingle my DNA to make babies and
break down my carbon to make apple pies just as trapped townies have done in the past, and trapped townies will continue to generations after. And in that sheer moment of desperation, I hear the words of Neil deGrasse Tyson.
We are biologically connected to every other living thing in the world.
We are chemically connected to all molecules on Earth.
And we are atomically connected to all atoms in the universe.
We are not figuratively, but
Literally.
stardust.
We are all made of star stuff. The stars that are everywhere, the stars that are ephemeral, do not just shine over me and my town. And in that moment, I realized I certainly do not have to either.
I do not have to.
I do not have to.
I do not have to either.
Oh yeah? Well, I still have to wake up at 6 a.m. to catch that bus tomorrow.
Oh, dead ass? But are you the one that has to deal with that annoying ass kid in their English class?
No. Really? I gotta stress over stupid math test.
Correction, I still gotta get up to dress to impress you people that I don't like.
You even have to run the bitch of a mile tomorrow.
Bravo!
Losers!
Smartasses.
Well, that was a good moment to learn what education meant to us, until all of you ruined it. So, I think we need to humble ourselves a little bit and figure out how we got here into these seats from everything that people before us have suffered in the past. So to humble you a little bit and give you something to do, for your next assignment, homework assignment number 2, the history of education.
Just Google it.
We come down from the trees. We stand up.
We look up.
We see the moon. What the hell is that?
And we start questioning. Why?
Why?
What is that? What's that? What's that?
What's that?
That is the history of education. We start to wonder. But we don't get far.
It's because we're hungry.
I'm hungry.
And we're thirsty.
And raindrops are falling on our heads. And animals are trying to eat us.
Anybody got time for that road class?
So we forget about it. Until we get together in communities. We start to protect each other from the rain and the wolves and the world. Only then do we look back up at the moon and we ask again, why? We start to write, discover it, create it. We write to communicate thoughts, questions. We write the code of Hammurabi. You know, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a little sheep for a little sheep. We write the beginnings of laws, and it's good.
concealed in convents, masked in monasteries. Monks are copying what little we have left by hand, person to person, generation to generation. Yet, no one is allowed to read it. Nobody knows anything. We forget that blood flows. We forget that the earth revolves around the sun. We forget about the bones in our bodies, how to do surgeries on our brains, how to read and write, but then, aha, knowledge starts to spread via medieval UPS, the printing press. This invention is completely unprecedented, and it revolutionizes the distribution of knowledge. Suddenly, it is not spreading person to person, generation to generation, but it is spreading minute to minute, second to second. It's being made available to everyone, and people are becoming literate. This is how the Renaissance happens. We all breathe a collective sigh and begin to work. We start to institute universities. For the first time ever, we start to loosen the grip on education. We stop being so strict about who can and cannot learn. It is not only the aristocracy, but now it is also the people who want to be intellectuals. In France, Rousseau starts speaking up. He says,
The only way to educate the humans who avoid this species is to educate everyone.
then, finally, in the 1800s, along comes Horace Mann. And he somehow comes up with the idea of
Public education.
He states,
Education is our only political safety. Outside of this ark, all is deluge. If there ever can be a cause worthy to be upheld by all of toil or sacrifice that the human heart can endure, it is the cause of education. Education is a right for everybody. Children should not be in the workforce. They should not be toiling the fields. They should not be trying to survive. They are not animals of burden. They are actually brains, beings that are growing. And that youth is the best time to give them all of the education so that they can grow up to become citizens of the universe.
we decide then and there that it is worth it. That our children are worth it. And it becomes a right. And later, it becomes a right for all races, all genders, all people of all kinds.
And that is the history of education. Ta-da!
Assignment 3, homework. Assess the current state of education in the USA.
31% of the Latinx community do not graduate high school.
As well as 21% of comparably aged Black students.
41% of women will fall behind in math and science before they graduate high school.
49% of teens of the LGBTQ community do not graduate high school due to bullying.
We have to understand these statistics to overcome them. Otherwise, the moment we step one foot into school, society has already given us a grade.
Tie your shoelaces so they look like presents as you flash your smile to the crowd of parents, and they call you cute because you were only 7 and you barely graduated kindergarten. From the day you were born, you were sold at the market, but nobody told you you were born an artist. And if you can't get a scholarship, you can't get the knowledge, so you work half your life under the golden arches. The job market thinks you're a fool,
15.
Gender.
Male.
Height.
5'9".
Weight.
129 pounds.
Sexual orientation.
Straight.
Oh, can you let Daddy open his briefcase and let me take a peek?
Disability/medical history.
I'm dyslexic.
Ethnicity or race.
White.
Class.
Upper.
Grade. A.
Are we surprised?
Next. Name.
Gracie Catherine Gold.
Age.
17.
Gender.
Female.
Height.
5.
Weight.
How much does an orca weigh again?
Sexual orientation.
Straight.
She's got to take her shampoo.
Disability/medical history.
She don't.
None.
Ethnicity or race.
Oh, I don't run. Okay, we're not.
Class.
Math?
Grade. B.
She for what?
Next. Name.
TikTok.
Name.
Hurry up, honey, we don't got all day.
Name.
Sierra Johnson.
Age.
What did you say?
Age.
17.
Gender.
Female.
Height.
5'2".
Weight.
117 pounds.
Sexual orientation.
Do you want to get your ass rocked?
Sexual orientation.
Strictly dickly.
Disability/medical history.
No. Oh, you want a disability? Come up here. I'm going to give you a disability.
Ethnicity or race.
Boricua y Dominicana.
Class. Class.
Lower.
We're trying.
Grade. D.
What the? I'm not using the D student, bro.
Next. Name.
Sam Hanks,
Age.
16.
Gender.
Male.
Wait, what?
Gender.
Male.
Gender.
Male.
She is a girl.
Height.
5'1",
What about male?
Weight.
100.
Big.
Yeah. Sexual orientation.
Straight.
What is that?
Straight.
Disability/medical history.
Big, she's
None.
a boy. It's confused.
Ethnicity or race.
Weight.
Class.
Middle.
Grade. C. Next. Name.
Jade Catalina Rivera.
Age.
17.
Gender.
Female.
Height.
Fun size.
4'11.
Weight.
98 pounds.
Sexual orientation. Sexual orientation. Sexual orientation.
Lesbian.
Disability/medical history.
Anxiety and PTSD.
Ooh, she an anxious lesbian.
Ethnicity or race.
I'm Hispanic.
No, you're not. Hell no, you're not.
Class.
Lower.
Grade. F. Next. Name.
Laura Franco.
Laura Vanilla Crap.
Age.
16.
Gender.
Female.
Height.
5'3".
Betsy.
Weight.
20 ounces.
112 pounds.
Sexual orientation.
She licks her Starbucks.
Disability/medical history.
None.
She can't even.
Ethnicity or race.
Caucasian.
So proper.
Class.
Upper middle.
Grade.
Between your knees.
A. Next. Name.
This was a girl holy trash. You're bugging.
Holly Green.
Mother.
Weight.
108.
Sexual orientation. Sexual orientation.
Straight.
Think about it. Sure.
Disability/medical history.
Can't dress.
Anxiety and depression.
Ethnicity or race.
I'm Jewish.
Class.
Lower middle.
How are you?
Grade. C.
Next.
Name.
Miguel Herrera,
Age.
17.
Gender.
I'm a male.
Height.
5'7".
Weight.
125 pounds.
Sexual orientation.
Hell yeah, lots of it too.
You say this wrong.
Give me the last one.
Disability/medical history.
I had Lyme's disease once.
Can it come back?
Ethnicity or race.
BB, brown bitch.
Bo.
Shut up.
Class.
Fast, Lord.
Grade.
I got enough of that kid who can't even read his grade got an 8.
Next. Name.
Deanna Hippolito.
Age. Age.
16.
Gender.
Female.
Height.
5 feet.
Weight.
125.
Oh, she's thick. No, she's
More than you can say. Sexual orientation.
I'm bisexual.
So she is a hungry head.
Disability/medical history.
She doesn't know she wants to
None.
Ethnicity or race.
I'm black.
Class.
Middle.
Grade. D.
What? And a roll call!
So, how did that assignment feel for you guys?
Depressing. I feel like shit.
I'm homeschooling my kids.
Who told us to be such assholes?
Erin, how about you?
How am I supposed to?
I got some potty mouth.
Guys, are we nothing more than grades?
As you got a year older, and you got a job and a chip on your shoulder, and when you look back, they have your name on a folder, and you just wish somebody would have told you that when life gives you lemons, you can make them grenades. It's just a prison, education's a parade, and you really want more when it's usually too late. The parade passed you by, but at least you wait.
Conclusion of research into student views. Students, where's your current school experience?
I really do. I got home. I got pencil and paper, but nothing. I mean, nothing ever sticks.
I remember learning matrices on the ground calculator, and the first thing I asked was, is this going to be hard? I got told no, you'll fly right through it.
I never really hated school, but me coming from a different country and not knowing the language, it was really hard for me to manage.
Grades. Over my short existence of 17 years, I've come to treat my grades as mathematical equations. Half-ass the homework plus copy off from people when need be. Minus the actual retaining of information, and you pretty much got yourself an A. So now I'm sitting there crying in class because I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm flapping my wings as hard as I can to take off, and then I realize I'm a penguin. Yeah, penguins don't fly.
I have heard every single adult I love hit their knees because their lives have failed them.
I mean, I wake up at 5 o'clock every morning just to go to the bus, already defeated.
And now I sit there looking at my SATs, knowing damn well I can't get into the colleges I dreamed of.
But now I can read, write, and spell the language, but I just hate it. I just hate it. I don't see the reason why we need to include math, the alphabet in math.
And I can hear the teacher sigh as they grade my tests and quizzes.
Is this what you learned in your 4 years of high school? Kind of roll around in your self-pity.
I can't afford to get a B. But don't you dare go bitching about how I'm automatically fine.
Oh, and you know what's my personal favorite thing? When you get a question wrong, and the students and teachers just laugh at you.
And then you teachers say all you want is to help us. Realize none of you are helping. I need A's. I need valedictorian. Am I getting kick-ass grades? Hell yeah! Am I truly becoming a valued, educated citizen? Yeah, that's debatable. Wow. We sound like little shits.
Yeah.
I love the way you put that.
Are we really that lazy? That unreasonable?
No.
Look, all of it just cannot be our fault. There's no way.
Exactly.
It's not just our fault, it's just we have to deal with it by ourselves.
Yeah, but then going along those lines, don't you wonder what everyone else is thinking?
To be honest, I wonder what our teachers are thinking.
Assignment 5, interview the teachers. Find out their views on education.
For the next 30 or more years, 1,560 weeks, 10,800 days, 259,200 hours, 15,552,000 minutes, 933,120,000 seconds, you will be here at the head of this classroom, teaching class after class, student after student, pretending that this is all new to you, that you haven't heard their problems and struggles before. There are approximately 3.7 million of you in the field currently. Of that number, half of you will quit within the first 5 years. The 3.7 million of you will be divided among the elementary, middle, high school, and college levels. 3.3 million of you will teach in public schools and 0.4 million of you in private schools. Your average salary will be $35,672, but this number will vary depending on a number of outside factors. Of this $35,672, you will spend $149 out of pocket towards school supplies, $198 for instructional materials, and $138 on other classroom supplies. The gender ratio of teachers appear to be 76% female to 24% male. Among both males and females, 83% of public school teachers were white, while nearly 16% were minorities. Over the years, the buying power of teacher salaries has declined 2.8%. You will have 30 or more years to ponder these numbers. So why on earth would you want to become a teacher?
On your mark and set, get ready and go. I'll be waiting right here at the finish line. If you take your time, I know that you'll be right. If you take your time, I promise you'll be alright. Why did I become a teacher? God, I was a mess. I never had any real desire to learn. My parents didn't go to college. They ran a convenience store down the block. So, no. My love for teaching did not blossom at home. Better stretch before you get out the gate. It's better to be prepared for the important days because it's never too late to join the race. No, it's never too late to change your fate. And I'll be here at the finish line.
Hi, my name is Liz Carter. Why the hell did I become a teacher? Well, if you would have asked me that out of high school, it was just something to say. A half-assed plan that worked itself out.
My name is Sierra Zoletti, and why the fiddlesticks did I become a teacher? I mean, when I was a student teacher, I had the devil in my class. I mean, every day I catch eating a smelly tuna sandwich. And one of my rules specifically states, no eating in class. By the end of the lesson, he throw bread slices onto my desk, and to make it even worse, he breaks break off little pieces of erasers, flick them onto each and every one of my students, and even myself when I'm trying to teach a lesson.
No, it's never too late to join the race. No, it's never too late to change your face. And I'll be here at the finish line.
Hi, I'm Mr. A. Why did I become a teacher? Well, there are no regrets in life, just lessons. Actually, I was bullied a lot in middle school and in high school, and just trust me, it's not any better now than it was then.
It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and everyone is running, rooting for you. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and I will run on to the finish line.
So one day I'm out buying a pack of cigarettes and I see a flight rubber ball for the Special Olympics. My brother is handicapped. There is nothing that I would not do for that kid. So I thought, hey, I'm not doing anything that week.
There I am, right out of college. I got a job teaching Algebra 2. But I had no idea what I was doing. I walk into this class like, sit down, shut up, it's time to learn. I look back and that was awful. And I came to this realization of, what am I doing here?
So I had to teach the students that failed our state exam. So I was stuck with him forever because he kept on failing every time we would take it. But finally, he passed before the school year ended. So fortunately, he would be able to graduate and finally leave me alone.
So, I was bullied in school. And back then, I couldn't tell you why. But now I'm older, I look back and I realize that I have this love for knowledge that all the other kids took for arrogance. That's not what I meant to do at all. I just love to learn.
More you say, get ready and go. So steady with the race, and you're going for gold. But if you wanna listen, you have to learn. If you wanna run, don't wait your turn. Go.
And as revolutionary as it sounds, it all just kind of clicked. I wanted to help students with disabilities because to me, we're all one, whether you're disabled or you're a genius. And that is something I strive for in my school.
Then I look at you guys who are just like me. And believe it or not, you don't realize that you have a choice. I wish somebody would have shook me and was like, this is your life, Liz! I realized I could do that for you guys. I stayed a teacher, probably not why I became one, but I stayed one to teach you that life is not just a half-assed answer.
But then graduation day came and he approached me and gave me the most biggest and unexpected bear hug that I was lifted off on the ground. Before he left, he found me and said, Miss, without you, I wouldn't have been able to do it. And now he's in college, getting straight A's. He's just doing so well. And it's funny because the reason why I hated work so much actually ended up being the reason why I love teaching until this day.
So I went off to college and I loved it. I stayed up all night reading. It was amazing. Now looking back on the quote I gave you, I realized that this is why I became a teacher, to be there for the people like me, be out-the-box thinkers, and to let them know that it is okay to love learning.
It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and everyone is running, rooting for you.
and you're such a rebel. But in actuality, you're just another cliche. I'm trying to help you, but I can't even tell you that because you won't listen to me. Seriously, I lived through the 60s. I know what a rebel is. Oh, come on. Do I have to call the principal? Pull your pants up.
What I really want to say is, you're appropriating a culture that you think it looks cool, but you just look like an idiot.
Oh my... Oh, do you want to know what I really wanted to say? This teenage culture is not going to stop till something horrible happens, like an alien invasion or, ooh, mad cow disease. And then they'll all be like, no, what have we done? Save us, please! Don't stick that probe in me! And bam! You're annihilated.
Go back to that.
Laura, come on. Turn off your cell phone. Laura! You didn't hear her? She said put your phone away. And as a matter of fact, give me your phone.
No, miss. She was just trying to dispose her.
She was just looking something up.
She was turning it off. My mom was calling me.
It's her property. You don't have the right to take it away.
She was just checking the time. You don't even like us.
You use your phone all the time.
How about no? You nappy-headed guy! Come here. Here. We're gonna take a walk to the office.
The fact that the kid called me really insulted me in such a way. Like, you know when they use the B word? Like, they're not supposed to, but they do it anyway. But the word dyke has such a strong meaning. And to me, I remember being really hurt and really upset, and administration told me. She said she's sorry. She'll write a letter of apology, and she'll go back to your class. And I said, okay. I know I'm gonna get in so much trouble, but this whole day I've already been defeated. These words are the only weapons we have. They work on the TV, even politicians use them. I hear my relatives use them when they need to feel powerful. But I can hurt you. These words are all we have. But then I realized I didn't have to say it was okay anymore. So I went to administration the next day and I said, no, I don't want her back in my class.
Welcome to the new unit, everybody. I'm very excited to share this with you.
I remember the first time I encountered Greek mythology of all its complicated glory. I mean, my parents gave me a brown-covered book, fully illustrated. Stories created so long ago yet reflect our fears, our humanity, our lack of humanity. And now I got to teach it, so I spent this whole summer carefully reframing the knowledge that I already had to make it interesting and new. My desk at home disappeared under a mountain of research. Finally, it's my turn to finally guide these young minds through the labyrinth and escape from the Minotaur.
So our objective for today, we're going to explore the origins of Greek mythology.
I pulled my fingers, but they didn't give me any direction. I gave you names, but they didn't even take the attempt. I want to speak up, but I can't for my own opinion.
Don't wanna be here, give me one good reason.
gets here from teachers on a regular basis.
Put down the inhaler, freshman! It's not your asthma, you're just fat!
Look, it's clear he won't amount to anything. So you are lucky your parents have money.
You are one of my worst students. Just sit down, shut up, and pay attention.
You theater kids, look, I know you guys want to Remount that show and everything, but the original cast, they were superstars. I mean, you guys are going to do okay.
Your grade is an 89.6. I will not round it up. That is your grade.
You deserve detention because you fell asleep on the bus! Objection! You think that's bad? This is what we hear. How are you teaching me English if you don't even speak the language?
Here's your coffee, miss.
Bitch, you don't know me. I busted my ass in all the other marking periods, so this marking period I'm not trying.
Did you even get your teaching degree?
Are you kidding me, you lesbian?
To give you any detention.
Impossible to even teach a lesson. How can I help you if you don't pay attention?
I don't get paid enough or get enough of a pension. So deal with you. When did school become a KK?
Tell me someone I'd love to know.
When did education become a KK? Don't like the rules and don't play. You are you. Yes, you are to blame. I'm calling your parents! Parents need to teach kids some manners.
My dad calls me a Democrat when he has nothing left to say.
I am so sick of parents doing their kids' homework badly.
My parents are never home. Parents need to understand it's not my fault your kid failed. It's your brat of a kid's fault.
Well, my parents made me babysit every night, so I don't have time for your homework.
It's your parents' fault!
Mom, Dad!
Assignment 7. How do parents feel about education?
For the next 16 or more years, you will be guiding your child through the world that is modern education. Studies will tell you that parental involvement means higher grades. 40% of parents across the country believe they are not devoting enough time to their children's education. 68% of adults believe parents deserve blame for what's wrong with the U.S. education system. Parents with higher levels of education are more likely to be involved in their children's schools. You will have to deal with the antagonism of the teenage years as well as expectations of teachers. That's a lot of hurt for a lot of years. So what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind?
It's not like the good old days. that I won't always be around. 'Cause one day the scaffolding's coming down. You see, I was a badass in high school. Yeah, I smoked, I drank, I partied, and I had guys all over me. And I didn't care about my education back then. But when I had my son, life got so real for me. Do I care about the system now? No, I don't. Because all they do is set you up to these expectations, and then you fail, and then you give up. And that's all the system is. A setup for failure. God, I hated high school. I barely even showed up, but I still managed to get myself an A. I never went to college, and I taught myself everything I know. I don't know what is going on in your education, but it makes me sick to think that all they're doing in high school is preparing you for college, and all they're doing in college is preparing you to go work for some big man in a suit. Now, don't get me wrong. Learning is great, but sometimes you just gotta do it on your own. I wanna lift you up and I wanna see you grow taller than the trees I've planted, stronger than the seeds I've sown. I hope you know that I won't always be around. One day, the scaffolding's coming down. When I was in high school, I was that kid. The kid that thought they were a rebel because they got bad grades and drank by the school on the weekend. But I realized way too far that I wanted to be more than that. In fact, it was after your mom dumped me, I didn't have the grades for college, and my parents could barely afford to get my sister through cosmetology school, so I joined the army. I joined because I was dumb and thought there was no way I'd get thrown into combat, but I did, and it was hell. It was pure hell. It made me a bad person, but when I got out, I realized what I wanted. I wanted to marry your mom and go to school and be something more than I was in high school. And then you came along, and that was the final push. I look at the picture of you and me at my graduation every day, and I can't wait to recreate it at my next one. The education you're receiving now may not be the best, but the fact that you're taking it and using it makes me proud beyond words. You will go so much farther in life than I did, and I can't wait to watch you make your way with what you're doing. I may be a stepping stone, but you don't have to take the steps all on your own. My hand is here to hold, and you can always find your way home. Don't wanna be a crush or crush your scholastic whims or your PhD dreams.
Assignment 8. What is the state of parent-teacher interactions?
Laura, where is the teacher?
I don't know now. We always wait for our own class.
You must have gotten
How did I get this time all? I think I could see. Mom, why are you acting so crazy?
I'm crazy right now. Oh, do you want to see crazy? Not good. You want to see crazy? Because I'll show you crazy. I'll show you crazy real fast, Laura. Okay. I need to understand what is going on with my son. Please, that'd be nice. Because I don't listen to a word that comes out of his mouth.
She's got some damn nerve telling me to change the way my kid grows up. Just because I'm not Peggy Sue, who has all the damn time in the world to be president of the PTA and bake these stupid cookies and brownies for these stupid little bake sales. I'm an actual working human being with 3 jobs and I still manage to love my son. I hung every single one of his drawings on my fridge like the kid is goddamn Picasso. I don't pay taxes so you can sit all that on your asses and slack off and walk through life at home.
Hi, my name's Peggy Sue from the PTA. Just so you guys know, there's some cupcakes, some brownies, some cookies. You can get them at the end of every grade. Thank you. Anyways, I went to Harvard, so I know what A+ work looks like. That's not the point. My daughter is in all AP courses and aces, every one of them. So tell me, why is she failing her class? Now, on top of that, my husband and I pay a lot of good money to support this school. So frankly, I don't think her boss is going to be very happy when he finds out that thousands upon thousands of dollars will be lost because of her mistake.
It's hard. It took years of breakdowns to accept what the reality was. Finally, I had to sit myself down and say, Sam, getting mad at the world about this isn't helping. My daughter is autistic. My wife and I got that news when she was around 3. In most schools, kids get picked as normal, the captain of the football team or the most popular, but my kid isn't any of that. My kid is a statistic. Teachers, other parents, administrators, janitors, treat them like numbers, not people. We need to start hiring people who actually give a damn. I don't send you to school so you can snooze off and become dense. Like another brick in the wall. And 86! Oh, she has got to be joking. She called me in here for an 86. I paid $20,000 a year for Laura to go to Berkshire, and this is the shit we have to deal with? This is the shit I have to deal with. Laura is top in her class, and one day she's gonna be on freaking Wall Street, and her kid is gonna be at Walmart. When did school come? Such a show. When did education become such a laughing matter? I don't find the punchline very funny. 'Cause you, yes you, and 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 definitely that one, and you, yes you, are to blame. Okay, so that got heated. But I on the table. I think that means that this is a good place to stop. So, does anyone have any ideas for a conclusion?
a lot of blame to go around, but that's the issue. It goes around. Like, we can point fingers all we want, but it always goes back in a circle. Like, there's really no one to blame, but at the same time, everyone's to blame. So how do we fix that?
You're the teacher.
Yeah.
Teacher?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, you guys know I'm not a teacher, right?
What? I would hope so.
I thought you were the real teacher.
What? Can I help you? Don't answer that. I thought it was Yasmin, because Yasmin got a blazer on, so it's good.
Baby girl, this is a fashion statement. Negative, not a teacher, not an educator at all.
So it's just us.
And all of them. Hey guys!
Hey, what's
Okay, wait. So what now?
Okay, so let's backtrack it. Ruth said there's a lot of blame to go around, and everyone's to blame, but we don't know how to fix that, right? Otherwise, it goes on and on. Okay. So, in order to change that, I think each one of us has to change ourselves instead of blaming everyone and take ownership for it. And if we take ownership of our own education, then maybe, just maybe, we might be able to change the entire system.
I like that.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll
So-
be here all week, thanks.
Listen, so I have an idea, okay? Just follow me, please. Okay? All of us are going to commit to something, okay? And we're going to write it down on a piece of paper and hand it to anybody out there. It does not matter who it is, okay? And whoever's out there you hand your paper to is going to hold us accountable for that commitment. How's that sound? Yeah, so I'm gonna go first, alright? I'm Brie Bratcher, and I can commit myself to studying every single day for the SATs.
Okay.
My name is Lauren White. I will go to at least one protest this year.
I'm Mackenzie Bulford, and I am going to vote in the next election.
I'm Allison Fernandez. I commit to getting straight A's.
I'm Kimberly Gonzalez, and I commit to getting exempt from 3 finals.
My name is Ruth Learn, and I'm going to break 1,500 on the SATs.
I'm Jane Pagan, and I'm going to study for all my tests.
My name is Dylan Fro, and I'm going to pass algebra with an A.
In case y'all don't remember, I'm Yasmin Rosado, and I'm getting my ass into college.
I'm Teddy Lanigan, and I'm gonna get honor roll.
Hi, I'm Sabrina Costa Lopez. Oh, so long. Anyways, Mom, Dad, if you're even here, I know you're not. Either way, I want you to finish college.
And I've been fooling you all this whole time. I'm a third-year college student, and part of my commitment as I'm in college is that this semester I'm going to get an A in my directing class, and I'm going to direct one hell of a show come December.
We do not blame you, honestly.
And we can't make you,
But we can invite you guys to help us change the education system.
and since we're all actors and this show has to end somehow, we're going to do it in a song.